The first is the City of the Dead. This year is also a big year for celebrities. Injecting young people's blood. The NBA will certainly give a different vibe to the way it works. The first is the Ghost of the Year. The most notable of these is Ben Zar of AJ. One is that he is a warrior with a gift for fighting. The basic complaint. The first is that the United States is not a freezer. He also said that he could not escape the first three. The other side. He is not yet in the Union. The first is that the country is not a country. I'm not a big fan of the idea of a new home. I'm going to give you my number. He is the only one who can do this. What is it? How crazy is AJD? What is his crazy capital? Today, let's talk about 26. The most popular is the yuan. Edged, what is it? Why we say, AJD has some crazy attributes. He was a part of a recent show. The show is a great success. Some comments. For example, the Chinese yuan is the most popular currency in the world. He said, if you are caught with the yuan Zion, when there is no real election. He said, if they chose me, I really need prisoner 1 number 3, so maybe we should let the prisoner number 3 out. He also said, I am a super-powered player. The first is to play from number 1 to number 4. The security guard has moved from 1 room to 5. Skills and small backgrounds. The first is the Street of the Wind. After last year's Genos incident, we have a hard time saying, AJD is really keeping enough money for itself. The report also highlights the importance of the social media platforms. The report also highlights the importance of the new policy. It's not easy to pack. The first is the arenas in the city of Arenas, which is a popular place for people to stay. He said, AJD's core mission. The first is that the two-way street is not the same. The report also highlights, the team's politics doesn't need any other overwhelming demands. The first is that the people of the country are not happy. Arenas is a simple word. The first step is to read the main steps of AJD. The first time the world was in a state of emergency. The first time the world was in a state of emergency. Dante George in the death of his wife wearing number 3. So if AJD comes to the end of life, he doesn't even have a number 3 to wear. I mean, AJD's controversial comments on the case. The first time I saw him, I was surprised that he was not able to get a chance to play. The government has also been trying to reduce the number of people in the country. The number of requests for eternity. The dead men seem to be holding hands. Not with AJD. Testing the meaning of my brother. AJD's behavior is too outlandish. The first is the fame of the people. This is a question that people may ask. The AJD is so strong. The world is a very different place. Who is the best person to blow the wind? I'm not sure what I'm saying. He has enough capital to do this. We are not talking about the situation. Just talk about the situation on the ground. The truth is, AJD has basically locked down the top 2 spot. The show is a reboot of the original series. He is the most talented person in the world. The strongest small forward wins. And none of them. The first is the golden age. He has almost everything. The top talent? The report was published on the website of the United Nations Development Program UND last month. Adshro have increased 204.5 meters. B is 214.6 centimeters. The battle has reached a peak of 269.2 centimeters. The 3 numbers are very close to one of his templates. Jorge is a young man. The first is that the world is a place where people can learn to live. The top static of the competition. But this is not the most exaggerated. The most bizarre thing is his dynamic run-jump data. The man was about 208 meters tall and was wearing shoes. The weight of the adult is 8.4 kg. AJD jumped back to the ground at 85 cm. The average speed of the runner-up jump was 106.7 centimeters. Before AJD joined United Broadcasting, the blog is full of quotes. The maximum height of AJD is 385 meters. Many people don't believe that much, but now it looks like the best part of the day is the best part of the day. AJD can do this. I don't even know the number. AJD not only jumps high. The newest version of the platform is available in the US. Agile testing is underway. 3 out of 4 races are repeated and other aspects. AJD is doing great. This means that as long as it enters the NBA, the first is to improve your defensive skills and your defensive skills. It is a great way to get the most out of your home. If you want to challenge AJD's talent, the only problem is that the hand is not big. This is the same as replacement. What is the next step? We'll come back to the details of AJD's stadium capacity. While AJD is still very talented, it is still very much in love with the music. but it really made it into the big leagues. The shadow that emerges, maybe it's his ability to play. AJD is the standard ball-bearing forward. The government is not going to be able to do anything. The first is the forks box. How to play the game. The attack was also a disastrous one. The first time I saw the video was in the video. The body of the animal is unusual in the same person. The whole thing is repeated. The user rate is an amazing 33.9%. The ability to own the ball will flourish. The contest is a very specific one. AJD's main threat is the factories. The risky body size is very slow. Top sports talent and physical control. The first is the sister efficiency. The first is a simple home map. The first is to open the door to the security guard. The end of the internet is over. But we also need to be objective. The first is that the child is a child, and the second is a child. The people around them are being attacked. AJD's handling of the cargo is far from the real economy. The report also highlights the importance of the social and economic development of the country. The first is the ability to run and jump. The NBA's most successful team is the NBA's most successful team. The first time the group was founded, it was in the midst of a series of attacks on the LGBT community. The risk of high explosions. The newly created company is now a global leader in the energy sector. It's not that easy. The first is to create space for people to come. AJD is excellent in its handling technology. The game is a game of chance, and it is a game of chance. It has a great core power. So we can see. The police are not allowed to see the police, but they are allowed to see the police. The government has also been able to prevent the spread of the virus. The result is a blue-collar profit. AJD's lowest of all technologies. It should be at short-term steps and in. The game is a free-to-play game, and it is very effective after the ball is hit. The first time I saw the video was in the video. The first is that the internet is a place where people can create their own ideas. AJD's end to the insurgency is also the top ban. It is a powerful tool for the development of the internet. The first time I saw a woman in the hospital, I was in a coma. The ball is placed in the blue box. The first is that the new technology is not just a new technology. AJD is another one. The attack was carried out by the Taliban. The world is full of people who are not able to see the world. The attack was a turning point. I think it's also the content. After it entered NB. The first is that the military is not a military force. The site may be used as a defensive post. How to wear shoes. Trying to press the attack box. The game is played in a single game. It's all over now. The attack is over. We'll talk about the rise of AJD again. This is actually going to have to be split into two parts. The first is that it is a medium crisis, which is better than the average crunch. AJD is a low-level jump. The three leaders of the fragile middle class of stability. This is the most powerful weapon in the world for its hardware. It can use its talents. The first is to create a space for attack. Then suddenly he started to get up. The first is that the people of the country are not allowed to speak. The first is that the airplane is not capable of flying at a high altitude, so it is not easily disturbed by the defense. The first is that the government is not going to be able to keep the people from being punished. The mid-crisis stability of AJD after the confrontation was also a level of genius. It was a great match, a kickoff match after a fight. If it can crack out SGA's anti-crisis technology, it will be able to use the same technology. The newly created company will be able to sell its products in the next few years. The first spaceflight of the Alliance. The game is played in a three-point line. I'm not sure if this is the best way to get rid of the pain. We know that the blue box of NCW is a lot closer than the NB. The problem is that the number of people who are suffering from this disease is very low. AJD also received only 33.1% of the vote. The number of people who have been killed is about 1.4. The difference is, Flag 3/4 of the production is consistent with AJD. The number of people killed in the attack was 38.5%. And so is the story. Flag has reduced the number of judges on the NB by 3 points. The following conclusions. The third rate of AJD hits may be hard to satisfy. The future of modernity. The only limit is the distance and the offensive frame. AJD must get out of the 3-point mark. The last part of the AJD offensive. In fact, many of the things mentioned are, but at this point in time, we are talking about. The report also highlights the importance of the new rules for the use of the internet. The technology for buying food. I was at college. The first time I saw the video was in the video. The ability to buy food is one of the talents of this year's competition. It looks like a decision. NBA's attitude towards star players. After he entered the NBA. The ball should not hurt. We're going to talk about Yellowhead again. This is a great article. AJD's immune level is right for his body. The talent is not very matching. The first is the one-room apartment. In Hala, I think he is a middle-class person. The first is to see if the security gaps are not reached. The contest is open to all. AJD's defense is not technically sound. It's basically physical. Name of the person. He was in a single room and he was in a single room. But once the dam is demolished, AJD is easily broken. I'm not sure. AJD's defensive ankle injury was not good enough. He is a big forward and a big player. His contribution to sloping houses is small. Defense elected as a non-violent. This is a far cry from the crash show last year. Flags are not included. What is the meaning of this? The University of California. His defensive will is only moderately low. The defensive ball and the loss are more common. The most interesting thing is that the government is not going to be able to keep up with the demand. The news was posted on Twitter. The last level of civilians were evaluated, but from the competition's point of view, his uniform is not as good. He came to me with my current suspicions. He was not able to defend himself in college. After all, we don't want to be in the NBA much longer. The first is the firefighting of the Taliban. I'm not sure. This is the first time that the AJD has been dismantled. DSBN is not available to AJD. The first edition of Brown was released in 1990. The following is a list of RJBs in 90 editions. He came to me and I think it's more appropriate. This is a very important issue. Brown is still alive today. The first is that the country is not a country. Left-handed people are not well controlled. Brown's conversion offense is the third leading offense in the league. The final distance and the offensive frame are not good. This is very similar to AJD. The difference is that AJD's body size is a circle larger than Brown's. The AJD's organizational and extraction capabilities. The number of people who are in the country is also lower than Brown's. AJD may be entering the NBA's first race. The team is the second largest in the world. Of course, this is not a problem. Brown's defense is not the same as AJD's. The first time I saw the video was in the video. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do it. He loves me, I think. Brown's defense level is not too difficult to reach. Finally, we talked about the teams that AJD might be going to. The first is that the government is not going to be able to keep up with the demand. AJD has largely closed complaints. The first is that the player is not a professional. The report also said, the story is currently being made available to AJD for any purpose. Commitment to lockdown complaints. The government has also announced that it will not be able to sell its shares to the public. I'm not sure what happened. The economic team of DP has contacted. Windhorse also reported. The story releases signals of willingness to complain about the deal. It is obvious. The lack of a stadium in AJD. The first is that the people of the country are not allowed to go to the polls. The government has been trying to stop the government from taking action. I'm not sure if this is the case. The deal was never finalized before the complaint was filed. Remove the AJD. Washington has taken away the DP. So we're going to take the first three societies of witches. The story of the dead and the bear is simple. The three teams are in favor of AJD compared to the previous two teams. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get a good reason to go anywhere. The first is the following. The witches already have one of these. The first is the hand and heart and the inner workings of AJD. AJD has a hard time getting unlimited fireworks. The team has been in the game for so many years. The country is a very active country. The first race of his career was probably. The game is a great way to get the power of playoffs. The same goes for the dead. I'm not sure what I'm saying. The dead are stronger than the dead. AJD has more chances of playoff play. The growth potential is more than enough. The following is a list of the most common types of. The dead are on the line. Markner and Cher Jackson are already on the list. All of this requires the right to play. Hurricanes that can play a role. The actual percentage of newcomers last year. The new rules also require some extra hand-ups. This is why we are here. AJD gets the right to play in the big leagues. It's even less than in Washington. The Bears are theoretically the best team for AJD. They lack an immediate moment to bring about a revival. AJD can play that role clearly. The first time he was in the race, he was the only one who had a chance to win the race. This is a good way for him to work himself out. The technology is not yet mature enough. I'm going to see. AJD wants to make progress as quickly as possible. The most direct route is to go to Bear. In Memphis, he can copy KD's growth path. The fastest team in the world is the old chain. However, the Bear is holding a line of questioning. The first is that the government has not yet approved the decision. The city is a major tourist destination. I'm not sure. This is the story of the most amazing AJD in the world. This is undeniable. He is the deepest in the world. Washington is the most likely. After all, the first electorate. The talented people were chosen. I'm not sure what the problem is. His stance and his fighting skills were all over the place. He came, and I will continue to be concerned about this man. What is the best way to do this? He is a great writer and a great writer. The video is a great example of this. The difference is,